This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the Nightwing News. I am Phil, and joining me as always is...
Kristen, hello.
So, a little different this time. We don't have any Titans or Young Justice to talk about, so we're going to talk...
I know, it's been rough.
Nightwing 57, and for those of you who like the animated stuff, we're going to talk the original Batman the Animated Series episode, Fear of Victory.
Yeah. All right.
So, which do you want to start with?
Let's start with the comic book.
Ooh. Good. Yes, Nightwing 57. Scott Lobdell's still plotting this, but Fabian is gone.
Yeah.
So they got a new guy, Zach Kaplan, so I think our dreams of being in the issue are dead.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect it to happen. I have to say, I really liked it. And I'm kind of a doubter. I forget what it is. Scott Lobdell did something that I didn't like, I think, and I can't remember even what it was, but I'm always like, oh, I don't know, Scott Lobdell, so
Yeah, he's been around for a while. I think he's also working on Red Hood right now, so...
Yeah, he does a pretty good job with Red Hood. Or maybe I'm confusing him with Judd Winnick, who did a very good job with Red Hood, but I didn't like his Outsiders as much. Outsiders was a little too dark for me when Dick was in it. That being neither here nor there. I really liked this one. I thought it was good. It had a lot of action. A lot of cool stuff was happening. Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it seemed, I mean, nothing against Fabian, but I think it seemed like they had more of a direction this issue, and I think that was the thing with Fabian. They brought him in because, they lost the original writer, and Lobdell's, I guess, needed help, so... Mm-hmm. They were kind of like trying to find a direction as they were going, but...
Yes, and I think they could have punched it up a little bit with the... I mean, I liked what they did with the Scarecrow, but I guess it's weird. I feel like they could have either done it faster or just made him more nefarious and had more going on. It just felt like some of those issues... Between the first Amnesia issue and this one, it felt like there wasn't a ton of action. And then this one was like tons of action all over the place. Every time I turned the page, I was like, whoa, something else is happening. Yeah,
like I said, I don't know if that was just because they were struggling to find last minute to find a direction, or two. Most comics these days are like that because they're kind of like great for the trade paperbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I don't know if that's just part of that piece.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said any of the previous ones were bad. It's just this one was so much more action-packed than a lot of the previous ones have been.
Well, yeah, because you kind of get, I was going to say Dick, but Rick starting a new, his relationship, and that's just weird. Here's the part that bothered me. I mean, I like that Barbara showed up and everything, but, when the new girlfriend's like, oh, did you two have a thing? And Barbara's like, oh, no, we were just work friends. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking either, are they trying to establish, because I think, aren't we still a little unclear since New 52 happened if they ever officially dated? I feel like they've kind of purposely left that up in the air. But I think it could also be sort of, it's awkward, so maybe she'd want to be like, oh, no.
Kind of, sort of, but I mean, I also thought they were kind of getting close right before he got shot, because I think it was Batgirl 25 a couple months ago, where, I think the two of them, spent the night in,
Yeah, they spent the night in the honeymoon suite Bruce and Catwoman were supposed to have.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, so you're... I don't know.
I mean, I think they just hung out and stuff. I mean, they were very clear in that issue that they, didn't have...
But I would still call them more than, work,
yes.
Work for, I would have been like, oh, no, he was, my best friend, or, something like that.
But I suppose, with these all secret identity people.
I know.
I guess they're like, oh, wait.
I was just waiting I was just waiting for one line to be like, oh yeah, I was in love with this guy, but he's that guy's gone.
Yeah. Well, they're always teasing us.
Yeah, I know. And then what did you think of Joker's daughter?
Interesting. I have read at least Batman Family number 6 or something that's from the 70s where she appears and is kind of weird. But I think it's very interesting. I kind of liked what you did in this episode. I thought it was kind of it's cool that they were talking about gentrification. And of course, I am someone who is not particularly into sports. And so it always annoys me when sports stadiums get all of these great breaks. I'm like, another sports stadium. So I thought it was kind of cool that they brought that up. And then of course it was great. We got to see more about B, and of course that's good for Rick because he's still obviously very committed to helping people. So then he has this, and I thought that was nice, his sort of reflective stuff that he was doing, that he really is the same person inside. The way he's talking about, I want to help people, that makes me feel good, then I don't worry about my own problems as much. I mean, that's all very Dick and Rick kind of thing. But I thought it was very interesting that Joker's daughter goes after that, who seems to be a kind of, if not corrupt, definitely a little bit skeezy of a politician, and kind of sticks it to him and looks like she's going to try to do something political. I think that'll be cool because granted it's been a while, but I thought Joker's daughter in the 70s was just kind of they didn't really think her out that much, and I think she was yet another person they threw in that kind of had this weird thing for Robin, and she wasn't that great of a character before, and she just wasn't like fleshed out or given much depth. And I think that if they keep going in this vein, I think she has real potential to be pretty interesting. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's really weird because, I don't think pre-New 52, I don't know if she really had an origin. I believe it's been a couple years, but in the New 52, they said she's just some kind of mental patient who wants to be the Joker's daughter or something.
If I remember right, and I might not be remembering right, they did kind of push in her early appearance that she was Joker's daughter, and then I think it was later that they I don't know if it's a retcon, because they were never 100% clear she was the Joker's daughter, and then later they were like, oh, she's Jula Dent, Harvey Dent's kid. And it's like, I didn't even know Harvey Dent had a kid. And plus, of course, she's the result of comic book aging, because while Dick Grayson grew up so slowly, she obviously grew up way faster because, the first
comic books.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somehow they were the same age, even though he'd been around since 1940 and she'd been around for 1 month. Or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, she's a character who was there, but there's really a lot you could do with her because she's just kind of there before. So, yeah, hopefully they make her into something cool.
But I'm trying to remember how Joker got his face back, because at the beginning of New 52, Joker cut his own... Was he cut his own face off or someone else? But, I mean, unless they changed it, yeah, that mask she's wearing, originally that was the Joker's original face.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. I guess only time will tell.
But, I was thinking, I was thinking the other day, why they might be dragging out this Rick Grayson thing?
Why?
I was thinking, since he got shot in Batman, I wonder if they have to get, if it would mess with Tom King's story at all, if they brought him back brought it back with all his memories and stuff. Because I think, the point of, Tom King's story right now is, Bane's trying to, isolate Bruce from everybody. That's why, the marriage didn't go through, then he shot Dick in the head.
Right.
So I'm just wondering if they have to get, the okay from Tom King before they can bring him back.
That could be, yeah, because at least in that regard, it kind of makes sense, because that's sometimes that they don't always, there's some of Devin Grayson's stuff, on Batman Gotham Knights that I really like, but some of the stuff on Nightwing, was kind of too dark for me when Dick gets into that like really kind of thing and then like blockbuster nonsense. And that was kind of one of those things where you're thinking, why didn't he reach out to his Gotham people for help? Like, why are you making him so isolated? Why are the people in Gotham, it's not that far away, not reaching out? And that seemed like you have an explanation for it, but it seems obvious that you are just making the explanation to justify, I wanted to do it this way and it doesn't matter if it makes sense. So at least with him being Rick Grayson, like that does very clearly make sense why Nightwing is not there to help Bruce out, because he doesn't know he needs to be there. And that makes more sense than like, he's just not there because. Which would work. Yeah, I haven't been keeping super up with Batman. What's up with the other Robins? Why are they... I mean, what's up with Damian? He's not...
I don't know.
Is he off Teen Titaning?
Damian and Bruce are kind of, I don't know, he shows up every so often, but I don't know, they're almost like, oh, I don't know, how do I put this? Damian's just like, oh, father, we don't see eye to eye on how to do certain things, and he's around every so often, but then, like, Tim Drake rode off into the sunset a while ago, but now he's in that new Young Justice book.
Right, which is kind of weird, though, because is Young Justice the same continuity? Because he's Robin in that, and I mean, is he his same age, or? I
think it's the same continuity. Well, like in the last arc in Detective he was in, like, he's still calling himself Red Robin, but he's wearing like his Robin costume, which I think is weird because it's very similar to like Damian's, but yeah, he was still calling himself Red Robin, but he was like wearing the old suit.
Huh. Yeah, because I guess I was thinking that they were like kind of separate lines that were not 100% coexisting.
No, I'm pretty sure Brian Michael Bendis, who's writing it, said it was in the regular continuity.
Oh, okay.
Because Connor Kent's in that book, and then I think he said even Connor Kent's going to meet, Lois and Clark's actual biological son.
Oh, yeah, John.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that Super Sons book? Was that a one-off? Well, there was like a Super Sons book, and then isn't there like a limited series, Adventures of the Super Sons or something?
Yeah, Adventures of the Super Sons. It's like 12 issues. I think, what was it? They did like 7 or they're up to like 7 or 8, because it's like set before the current stuff, because in the Superman book, Bendis kind of aged John up a little bit, so John's like 17 or something now, so.
Oh, okay. So, honestly, don't read as many as you. It's too much work to keep up.
Oh, yeah, it'll give you a headache.
on all of that. Very interesting. Well, and I know that Jason and Bruce like beat Jason up in Red Hood at 25.
Well, yeah, because Jason like shot Penguin in the face, tried to kill Penguin.
That's pretty rough.
So like Bruce,
but I mean, they're like kind of always on the outs, so you don't really super have to justify that, I suppose.
Well, yeah, when Jason like tries to kill somebody, but yeah, I mean, Bruce threw him out of town, but then he did go to see Jason wherever because he told him about Roy Harper being killed.
Oh right, yeah.
In Heroes
That's
in Crisis.
Right. Dick doesn't know about that. Rick
he doesn't remember those people. Yeah, I mean, because him and Roy were close. Him and Wally.
Yeah, he and Wally. I think he and Wally. I mean, he and Roy were close in New 52. I don't think they're pre-New 52. I don't think they're as close as this one. But he and Wally are still as tight as they were before. Certainly, that's how they portrayed it in.
So I mean,
Titans. That's like I said. I'm just hoping that Roy and Wally will come back to life by the time Rick becomes Dick again, and then he like never has to. I mean, he'll know, but he never has to feel the pain of them being dead.
They better be back, Tom King, especially Wally.
Oh, Tom King wrote that one too?
Heroes in Crisis, yep.
Yeah, dang. It's so interesting because...
He loves mowing down Titans, I guess.
Yeah, well, because he got started on Grayson, right? And now he's like helming the flagship. See, that's the thing. They always take... People like do a good job and then they take them away from Dick's book. It's very irritating.
Well, he was on there, but like he left after a while. But Tim Seeley was on the whole run of Grayson. Tim Seeley really gets Nightwing.
Yeah, no, he does. He's awesome. But
I wish he would come back.
Went away too.
Yeah,
he went off to do his own thing, right?
He is still like he was doing a mini series for Marvel. Yeah, I think he might be doing some of his own stuff, but yeah, I know he did like a he was doing a mini series at Marvel just recently, so he's kind of in and out.
Are they kind Kyle Higgins does a pretty good job.
Yes.
He likes Nightwing a lot, so but
yeah, it's funny. Cal
Higgins
right now, he's at Marvel too. He's doing a Winter Soldier miniseries.
Okay.
So it's funny. He goes from like Nightwing to Winter Soldier
to Buffy, not Buffy. Oh my God, what's his name?
Who?
Winter Soldier, his real name.
Oh, Bucky.
Bucky, that's it. Yes. I was like, it's the BU, but not Buffy. That's the Vampire Slayer. Yes, Bucky. Yeah. That is funny. They're like sort of similar.
But before we get to the episode, I saw another. Did you see this advertisement for Detective Comics 1000 is coming soon, but they also do the deluxe edition like they did with Action Comics, where it's like a hardcover. It's like
yes,
like,
I read. It sounds like there's supposed to be a pretty good one that has Dick in there.
Well, I was gonna say
I read that now.
It says featuring the first appearances of Batman, Robin.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's Dick's origin.
Yes, yeah, and I read something. Maybe it was when the comic book shop sent me the solicits. I mean, I think there are those, but also news stories that they've written, and I think there's supposed to be one when Dick is Robin.
Well, yeah, it's right here. It says there's at least one. It includes an all new story by Paul Levitz and Dennis Cohen. So
yeah, but yeah,
if it's like good. If it's like the Action Comics one, it should be good. There was a lot of older stories from they cherry picked out a bunch of decades, and then there was at least one or two new stories.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. That's good. Also, potential future things. Remember, I don't think we talked about it on the show, but there is that novel version of Batman: The Court of Owls. It has come out, and it does say in the description that Nightwing and Batgirl are in the novel. So.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, I've been wanting.
So yeah, we might be able to read those.
I've been wanting to read those.
I'm trying to see if I can get it at the library. It's $16. What? Which I spend much more than $16. But it's like, I don't know. What if it has not enough Nightwing to fully justify my $16? I don't know. I might have to read it from the library first.
Well, after we're done here tonight, I'm gonna send you there was a novel from a couple years ago. I think was that the one Devin Grayson wrote too.
Was it called Inheritance?
I think it's like Dick and Roy and
Dick, Roy, and Garth.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I own a copy. Yes, we should read it and talk about it. It's interesting.
Yeah. So maybe we cover that too. Yeah.
Oh yes, totally. Yeah, that'd be great. I really like reading the novels, which is funny because the comics are such a visual medium. But I really like reading the novels where I make up the own picture in my head. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's just because I, read so many novels otherwise. But
it's always nice.
I like that.
Just to visualize the whole thing in your head.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. All right. Anything else on... What was it? 57, right?
57, yeah.
57. It was good. I'm excited to see what happens with Joker's daughter, and I hope the homeless shelter gets to stay.
Yeah, because I mean, nothing against the previous issues, but I think the art was even better this issue, too.
Yeah.
At least I liked it better.
Yeah. It's still a little... I mean, like I've said before, it fits very well with what they're doing and with the Rick character. It's just a little grittier. I don't know. Yeah. I like the art that looks a little more animated, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think this one looked more defined than some of the previous.
It was more defined, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So should we get to the everyone loves Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
Fear of Victory.
I think that is it's definitely one of possibly my favorite episode in the series. I love it.
Is Scarecrow one of your favorite villains, or does he give college professors a bad name?
He does give college professors a bad name, although he got fired for pulling those shenanigans, which is good because you absolutely should be fired for pulling those kinds of things. Yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons why it's my favorite. It was on, and Kyle Higgins mentioned this, I think actually in the interview for the book, or maybe we talked about it once. But it was shown a lot. It was an early episode, and Fox would show reruns, and so it did come on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it a lot, but I do like Scarecrow. I think my favorite villain in the animated series is actually the Riddler. I really like how they portray the Riddler in the animated series, and I really like all of the Riddler episodes.
If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
Exactly, that's great. But I also really like the Scarecrow episodes in here. And weirdly, probably aside from the like random villains, the major Batman villains, my least favorite one is the Penguin. It's weird. I love Burgess Meredith's Penguin in the 60s show, and I'm just kind of like on the Penguin I like him, but I weirdly like the 60s one better. Whereas the 60s Riddler is cool, but I definitely like the animated series Riddler better.
Yeah, I don't think they really... I don't know. I don't think they portrayed Penguin consistently in the animated series.
Yeah, I mean, the Riddler and the Scarecrow get some really good material in the animated series. Well, and Mr. Freeze in the animated series is great.
Oh, yeah.
Really, Two-Face is really quite brilliant as well.
I mean, that first Mr. Freeze episode, I mean, that kind of, like, defined him in the comics going forward.
It redefined, yeah.
Because before that, he was basically just like a mad scientist type. Gave him the whole tragic backstory from, like, then on.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, I do like the Scarecrow, but he does also give college professors a bad name. But he also shows actions have consequences, kids. Don't turn fear gas on your students or pull out guns.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? The Scarecrow or Lucky?
Yes, Lucky. Why are you so lucky? That Lucky knows something. I want to know it too. I think also I didn't realize it when I was a kid, because I was a kid and I didn't know, but I think I also like that episode because it's kind of about anxiety. And I haven't anxiety, so I think it really spoke to me in that regard. Plus, I think it's one of the better episodes where you see kind of dad Batman a little bit, and that's cool.
It kind of, watching this today, kind of like, I think I realized on a certain level, but it really brought home for me that, like, I think Dick Grayson was the character that evolved the most throughout the run of the animated series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone else, I mean, you kind of got a little character growth, but I mean, yeah, Bruce is Bruce, and
yeah. Well, and I mean, in the animated series, like with the one animation style, I mean, Batgirl wasn't in it very much.
No, only a few.
And then, yeah, he really should. But I just don't like the new animated adventures as much. I don't like the animation style nearly as well, and I don't think the stories are quite as well done.
Yeah, I mean, some of the animations I didn't like. Like, I didn't like what they did with the Joker, but like Scarecrow, or we're talking Scarecrow, I liked his second look. I mean, it was scarier.
It was scarier. I didn't like the second version of Poison Ivy. I thought they sexed her up too much.
And when they made her green. Yeah,
and her outfit was way skimpier. I really like the one that she wears. I really like the Poison Ivy episodes in the original animated series as well.
Her and Harley.
Yeah, those are some great ones. Also, I love Fear Victory because it's so quotable.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, when he's like, get in the car, I'll drive real slow.
And I love when Batman does detective work. You know, they were going through the dorm room and just tell them, did you see this on the television?
Exactly. One thing that cracks me up, though, about Batman the Animated Series is how Dick's dorm room morphs into whatever they need it to. I mean, it's like, oh, I have this roommate, and this is what our dorm room looks like. And then all the times he gets kidnapped, it's a completely different dorm room where he doesn't have roommates. I mean, I guess we could assume that his roommate went to play in the NFL, but I don't know how much time is passing in here, and so it's just. But I mean, Gotham City is like that. Gotham City has a desert in the Forgotten, and it also has a beach.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, but it's pretty perfect. I think also Fear Victory is nice because the caper or whatever, nefarious plan, if you will, it makes sense. Like, it's very self-contained and understandable. It's like, I need money, so I bet, and to fix the games, I use these chemicals to freak people out. It's like, okay, I get it. That's really not very nice, but no one's dying, and you're like, solved, and it's done.
I mean, yeah, you could say no one's getting killed, but I mean, what if someone has a heart attack?
That's true. I don't think that happened because it's the animated series. This is not Titans we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
This is the animated series. But yes, Scarecrow didn't think that through. But he's Scarecrow. He wouldn't care.
But I mean, it's illegal and immoral. I mean, you're people against their will.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. But I think it works well for the children's show.
Yes, yes.
But plus, they have that joke about the corn on the cob. When they serve him his meal.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I mean, that is like one of the strengths of the animated series is just, you know, like the guard, like Batman gives him the look, and it's like,
yeah, and he's like,
it's a kid's show, so you're not like he's not threatening or beating on someone, but he still gives him the Batman look, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it Professor Crane hungry tonight?
Yeah. And you learn a little bit about, because this episode comes before Robin's Reckoning, so you learn a little bit about Dick's background, but you know it's slid in there in a way that makes sense. It's not like, oh, we got to get some essential background in there. Let's beat you over the head with it.
No, basically,
I don't know. It's just
there's just that one line where he says, you know, I grew up on a tightrope and now I can't stand on a step stool.
On a step stool, yeah. It's just an extremely well done episode.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it is good.
A lot of it's very basic, but yeah, it's like very, you know, I think it exceeds the sum of its parts.
Definitely. Gotham Square Garden.
I just love when Batman calls Commissioner Gordon a dummy, basically, because he's like, when he tells him about the athletes, and Gordon's like, wait, what's this have to do with the athletes? He's like, think about it, Commissioner.
Like, you haven't been watching TV, have you? Like, oh.
I know Gordon's like, oh, sports? That stuff?
I don't have time to watch sports. I'm a police commissioner.
I know. I was like, if anyone in this episode would have bet on watching sports, it would have been Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. Not Batman. I guess Bruce Wayne has to watch the occasional sporting event when he's at, you know, a social soiree.
But yeah, I just love how it's like they I mean, he's in college, but they portray Dick as like younger here. But then, you know, by the time he's Nightwing, he's not like that much older, but he seems a lot more mature.
Mm-hmm. He's graduated college by that point. So.
Yes.
And then he goes on a journey. Not in the show, though. I think just in the comics.
But we were talking about those other villains. We did get like cameos from some of them as Batman was walking through Arkham.
Right. Oh, yeah. And I think that could be one of the other things. They have a great soundtrack to the animated series, and how all the villains have their own little their leitmotif, their own little theme, and how when he walks by, they play it. Like, you don't even have to look at the screen. You can just
you know
who it is. Yeah. It's very well done. In that regard as well.
Oh, Mark Hamill's the Joker.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I ever would have guessed that. It's one of those things I feel like once you know, you can kind of hear it, so to speak, if you're looking for it. But when I didn't know, I would never have been like, man, that Joker sounds like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I know. That I remember for a while watching the series as a kid. Yeah, I didn't know it was him. Then I found out. I was like, really?
Yeah. Well, and I forget who it is now, but one of the villains from the '60s show voices a different villain in the animated series. I think it's Bookworm voices, like, it's Roddy McDowell. I think that's Bookworm, and I think he voices. I'm trying to remember the Mad Hatter or something. But there is some crossover in that regard. But I mean, all the voices are so good. Kevin Conroy is so good. Oh yeah, I mean that's like anytime they do a Batman animated movie now, they're always like, get Conroy for Batman and Mark Hamill for Joker. Yeah, and I really like I think it's Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. Mm-hmm. He's really good. Oh, you know we should try. I think I've reached out before, never heard anything, but we need to we need an interview with Lauren Lester. Yeah, if he's not too He's not too busy and important for
Voice of Dick Grayson, yes.
for the likes of us. Yeah. And I did not realize it at the time, and it was not until, oh God, I don't even know, not that many years ago, considering, but when the Scarecrow kind of morphs into his scary face and he says to the muscle for the bookie that it's the fear of victory and the agony of the Scarecrow. Apparently that's a takeoff on an ESPN quote for maybe Wide World of Sports, where they say it's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. When I came across that in some sort of like Sports Center quotes, I was like, oh man, that's what the Scarecrow said. But it took me a long time to get that.
But yeah, I was looking at the cast list. Malcolm McDowell, it says Arcady Duvall, so I don't know.
I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's somebody's voice is a different voice in there. But yeah, it's one. I feel like Fear of Victory is one of the best ones. Also, I think it's good at the end how Dick, like overcomes it without, I had to take an antidote or whatever. It's like, I conquered my problem.
Yes.
And Bruce makes that joke at the end about sending a telegram. Bruce.
Those Batman.
And plus it has that interesting sort of, I can't ever figure out what time period this is taking place in, that, we have our computers, but we're also still sending telegrams. And we're also like playing football with just like those old South leather that's helmets. True. Not with the face stuff on there. Yeah. Like, work your way through that fear gas, but you'll still have a concussion. Yeah, well, we didn't know. We didn't. Back in the 90s, I think we kind of knew. I mean, they still had regular helmets. Oh, no, yeah, the helmets they did, but they didn't know the full concussion stuff, I don't think, in the 90s. Yeah, no, they had the real helmets. But I think that's one cool thing also about, I don't know, I just really love that animation and how things are a little bit old school, but also it's very clearly not taking place in the past. Yes. It's like in its own dimension. They kind of, I don't know if they do that to make the stuff timeless, but yeah, so it's like you don't know what time it is. They kind of do that a little bit on Gotham, and like even like the original Flash TV show from the 90s, they kind of did like a live action version. Yeah. But it's like it's obviously supposed to be the 90s because they've got computers that are very 90s looking. But also, can I just say, because he wore it at the end, I love that in the animated series, Bruce Wayne, billionaire, always wears the same outfit. He's always wearing that brown suit with the yellow shirt. It's animation. And Dick is always wearing those blue pants with the light blue shirt and the red sweater vest. So awesome. But I don't know, I appreciated that as a kid, because then I always knew that was Bruce Wayne. Yes. Because he's always wearing the brown outfit. That's Bruce Wayne. And then he goes with like more classic black. Bruce doesn't seem as approachable in the new Batman Adventures. The brown suit really lent him an air of friendliness. And like he played up the Bruce Wayne persona more in that brown suit. Once we get to those new episodes, he still like has a scowl on his face, even as Bruce Wayne. Yeah. That's true. So what episode are we going to do next time? Ooh, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Well, I was going to say, we don't have to do it next time, but when we get the Robin's Reckoning, are we going to do both episodes as one, or? Oh yeah, no, we got to talk about them at the same time. Yeah. I can't be like, I'll watch 1/2 hour and then a month later watch the next one. No way. Cliffhanger. Oh, no. I know. Hate that. I think we should go with the Riddler episode, personally. Because we could go with If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? That is another classic that I'm quite fond of. I think that's the one with the Minotaur, right? I think so, yeah. Yes. I love that one. Why, you want to do that one? Yeah. Okay. I will say, though, that episode has ruined all, like, hedge mazes and stuff for me. Because I always am like, maybe this one will be the one that's like in that Batman episode. And they never are anywhere close. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Yeah. I guess if I became rich, I would try to build a maze like in that Batman one. so people could have a really good time, but minus the like death traps.
Yes. So,
but I better stop talking because we haven't even watched it yet.
So that's your homework for next time, people. Nightwing 58, and if you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
Is Batman? No, excuse me. Is Tech 1000 coming out in between then, or is that the month after that?
It might be 2 weeks because Detective 999 came out today. So.
Oh right, and so that one's coming out.
And they've been coming out like twice a month. So
okay, well we should throw that on there too then.
Okay. Yes, because we can talk the regular Detective and like the deluxe edition too. I mean, I don't know if you'll get it, but I will have it in front of me. So.
Okay. Will you get it and tell me if it's worth it?
Okay. But I will look up the release date for Detective Comics so everyone can do their homework. Wait, are they waiting an actual month?
What?
Because now it looks like March 27th.
That's cruel.
I mean, so it might come out around the time we do the next episode, but I'm just,
Yeah, that's tough. Ugh. Man, I was getting my hopes up.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I wonder if they're going to do Detective just monthly from now on, because DC is cutting back on a bunch of their titles.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just because of the sale price, because Detective 1000 will cost
it's like $10, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
$9.99, yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be pretty fat, so I guess I can understand that.
But it's 96 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I really liked it when, of course, Nightwing was twice a month because it was more Nightwing. But I did think Fabian made a good point that it's really tough because there are so many moving parts with a comic book. It's really tough to get something that's really good quality out twice a month. So, if they want to scale back to once a month, I mean, then they can focus a little bit more on crafting the exact product that they want, and they won't be so rushed.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to buy all the variant covers? Or are you not that? Yeah.
No.
Especially not for $10.
Not for $10. Says, what was I just looking at? Did it say there was at least 11 variants or something?
I think there's a 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s,
I was going to say there's
90s, O's. A regular, that's at least 9.
Yeah, there's at least one for each decade, and then, I think there's a few other variants floating around.
Which I thought about getting the 50s variant, but I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just get the regular one. Because I was disappointed that only the 50s variant features Robin, which was weird to me, because he was in the 40s, 50s, obviously, and he was pretty prominent in the 60s, and...
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the regular cover is just going to be that one you see in the ad. I mean, that has Nightwing in it. And...
Yeah, I do like that one, because Nightwing is in the back with Alfred, like, eating a snack. Which I'm like, yeah, that's the part of crime fighting I'm for. The snack eating with Alfred.
But that just makes me sad unless they do, like, a flashback issue. Like, Dick's not going to be Dick for Detective 1000.
Oh, I think it will be a flashback. I think it will be him.
Well, yeah, I think there's going to be, if it's like Action Comics, there's going to be probably just a bunch of short stories, and then there might be like one.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was going to be a Dick as Robin story.
It all depends, because I think a lot of them, like in Action, they got different writers. Like each story in Action 1000 was only, I don't think they were like more than like 6 or 8 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they were allowed to play with like any continuity and stuff, and
yeah,
so
that's what I'm assuming. I mean, I think I might just be assuming that, so it could be totally wrong, but I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, cool.
And I'm sure the hardcover one will have a bunch of old issues, so
yeah, probably. All right, sounds good. I feel like we've pretty fully covered Fear of Victory. It's amazing. Everyone should watch it.
Yep. So next time we're going to, like we said, cover Nightwing 58, the Riddler episode on Batman the Animated Series, and probably some Detective 1000 talk. So.
Woohoo. Yay.
Time. Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask you if you wanted to promote anything, but you never do.
No.
Just buy her book, people.
I just let you be the You're like my manager, Phil. I'll let you promote it.
I was going to say, I have it on the shelf. I should keep it right here so I can hold it up.
It's okay.
Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Go check it. Go check it out. All right, and remember, you can always email us. Send us your thoughts when you read Nightwing 58, the animated series episode, and Detective 1000, or anything we talked tonight. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter @Nightwing News, and the voicemail. Pick up the phone and send us your thoughts. 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. All right. But yeah, I mean, if you relook at that Detective 1000 ad. Oh yeah, look, it's some of your favorites in there. First appearances of the Riddler.
Yes.
Clayface, man. I don't see Scarecrow, but you would think there'd be something of Scarecrow in there.
Yeah. Batman has so many amazing villains.
Oh yeah. I mean, Flash probably has like the second most, but I think tied for first, like Spider-Man and Batman have like the best rogue gallery.
Yeah. I don't know as much about Spider-Man, so
yeah, but
I'm biased in favor of Batman having
his is basically as big and massive as Batman's, and just
yes, but are they all the time? Okay, they are pretty good.
Most of them, yes. All right, everyone, come back next time and tell us who's Nightwing's greatest rogue.